Alright guys, here we go in a new computer art lesson, and what we're going to get into today is how to create an expressionistic portrait using a few different layer filters and layer blending styles. So let's jump in and get started. So I'll toggle over to home here. We're using Pixlr E, and I'll click on create new. We can call this project expressionist, or expressionism. And let me just check if I spelled that right. Oh, yeah. Expressionism. So expressionism is a style of artwork where you have artwork that you're trying to express, some emotion in the way that you use your imagery. So what I'm going to do is kind of start with, I had an image here queued up of rapper Eminem, Marshall Mathers. I'm going to copy this image here and then go in to paste it. So I think best for this project is to choose a portrait of someone that is maybe a bit of a rugged person or a creative person, maybe a musician, or maybe just a creative person of some kind. I think that kind of fits best with this kind of style of artwork. So next I'm going to crop my edges of my canvas to kind of fit the photo as I've kind of made it fit the size of vertically, and so just cropping off the sides there. The other thing we want to bring in is a metal texture. So I'm just going to do a Google image search for metal texture. Maybe I want rusted actually, so I'm going to just type rusted metal texture in here and see what I get. Got some good results. I kind of like this first one. Do make sure to kind of look at your imagery. Sometimes texture images like this have some protected kind of like watermark stamps on them and stuff, and so this one doesn't, so that'll be good. I'll go ahead and then just paste this in on another layer. I'm going to move this down underneath the photo though. And so let's just turn off the visibility so I can see that this fits my canvas and is all good, right? So first layer there really should be the metal texture, and then over the top of that we have a photo layer of who you're going to do this portrait for. So what we'll also do is actually duplicate this layer. We'll want to duplicate, so we have two copies of the image, and then we'll do some different effects to each one. So I'm going to turn off the visibility on the top one and work on the lower image first. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of distort this image a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Free Transform, or actually Free Distort is what I want. And this way, I can kind of take this image and sort of like just do a little bit of kind of manipulating to it. So I'm just going to kind of like distort it a little bit, so it's kind of like, just like his image, but kind of like slanted and going across sideways. And then I'm going to click anywhere, and then it'll ask me if I want to apply, and I'll click Apply Transformation. So next thing I'm going to do with this layer is going to add in a layer style so that it blends with the image layer below it. So I'm going to go to blend mode here, and I am going to choose hard light for this one. That was the one I had chosen because it blends well. Other images blending styles may work well for you too. Multiply doesn't quite, it's like still realistic. Screen is too bright. Overlay. So I'll click through and see which works best for your images. I think hard light works best for mine. But it may not work best for the image you choose, but that works pretty well to blend it with the background there. And then the next thing that we want to do is let's go ahead and abstract it, right? So we're going to add a filter here. So I have to make sure I have that layer selected, and then I'm going to go to adjustment, and actually no, it was filter. Yeah, I want to go to filter, and I believe the filter I used was mosaic, but you could really use any of these filters really. And what mosaic will do is kind of really abstract this layer and turn it into kind of triangular pixelations. And so I'm going to go pretty big for the amount because I really want to like abstract this like a lot. Like if you keep it down low here, okay, you can still kind of see the image, but I kind of actually really want to just like abstract it just for like the sake of creating like an interesting like design. I know it kind of loses like the whole appearance of who it even was, but that's okay because we have the other top image that we're still going to use. So and that's the next layer that we're going to kind of manipulate a little bit. So that looks pretty good as kind of a background. Now I'm going to take this image layer and going to go ahead and change the layer style again so it blends in with the images underneath it. So I'm going to go to, I think I actually chose difference for this one to blend it in with the background. And there you have it. That looks pretty good as it is. So I don't think I need to click through too many more layer styles. I kind of like the way that one turned out. And so, yeah, I think that that pretty much does it as far as this expressionistic portrait goes. So there you have it. Just a couple quick layer styles and steps to creating an expressionistic portrait. And so I hope you have fun and get creative with creating your own expressionistic portraits.